We are here at Waves 2025 in Mumbai, and today we are joined by a very special guest, Jay Gullish, who heads digital business transformation for the USIBC. Now, Jay has been following India-US ties in this sector for quite a long time, and he has been here with the Waves committee discussing and facilitating trade in the media and entertainment space. Jay, thank you so much for joining us. It's a great pleasure to have you.
Well, it's a pleasure to be here. Just look around and listen. It's an incredible vibe. I'm not sure I've ever seen it this exciting in India.
Jay, so to begin with, yesterday there was this India-US Creativity Showcase, and I'm sure I've been told you're big on India-US creativity collaborations. So can you tell us more about that?
Well, yeah, so, many days we kind of focus on business and policy and trade and more strategic issues, but every now and then we lean into the creativity economy, and that's what we've been doing. I've actually been involved in this for a long time. I may date myself, but pre-COVID, we helped launch with Jet Synthesis, one of our customers, we helped launch the first US-India e-cricket championship. And we had teams on both sides, and we gamed, and we sportscasted it. Pulling people together is really, really important to the relationship. At its core, it's people to people, and creativity is at the heart of that. And that's what's going on here at Waves.
So, Jay, how big of a business opportunity do you think this entire opportunity of Waves presents itself going forward for the media and entertainment industry?
Well, I mean, the short answer is massive. We're starting not at zero, but not at a big number, but it's growing really, really fast. I mean, Netflix has only been here for 6 or 7 years. Spotify, I heard, paid out $10 billion to Indian creators in the last year. One of the biggest numbers ever, and growing fast. I mean, what I think is happening is you're having a maturing relationship. On the US side, there's a greater appreciation and understanding of Indian culture. There's also an Indian American community that is changing. It used to always be IT guys in Silicon Valley, all dressed in black doing SaaS software services, right? And now you actually have a creative class of Indian Americans that are pulling together. They are generating new stories. They either are the American experience, the Indian American experience, or even the Indian experience. And there's new distribution channels that are able to share those stories with the world. And likewise, Indian companies have matured. It's not always just receiving American content and rebroadcasting it via satellite, Cheers and Friends, we know all of those. But now you have Indian companies that are also promoting and generating content that Americans want to hear, so it's increasingly going both ways. What we're trying to do is pull people together so that they can create new concepts, new ideas, but also new technology. And so those new distribution models are also equally as critical to changing and driving the sector.
Jay, my next question would be again on the tariff discussions that are going on. So there are tariff barriers and then there are non-tariff barriers. I'm sure media and entertainment is an industry which falls in the non-tariff area of it all. So where do you think the red tapes still exist which are sort of not letting or are sort of holding this industry back in terms of an India-US collaborative effort?
Well, look, consistency and transparency are critical to all business sectors, and that would be true of the creative economy as well. You might want to add in intellectual property. There's lots of discussions going on. I don't want to have that legal conversation about AI and intellectual property. Well, look, we're going to find those right channels that ultimately balance protecting creativity and those rights, as well as how do you drive the innovation, right? Now, as you mentioned, the tariffs, most of those are physical goods. Most of what's going on here is not physical. It's entertainment, it's touch, it's feel, and that's not really covered. And frankly, I don't think any of that, what's going on is going to impact this all that much, because this is all about a vibe. This is about creating ideas, entertainment that people want to see, they want to touch, they want to feel. That's just human. And so as the people-to-people ties grow between the United States and India, what you see here in this vibe is going to also grow.
So you're clearly big on the human aspect of it.
100%.
So let's take it to the technical side of it. India versus the US. I know it's a collaborative effort, but on the technical front, I'm sure we have a lot of catching up to do because the entire idea of technical prowess builds up on how much investment is coming into a certain market. So where do you think India and US, a collaboration there is
Yeah.
going to drive, funds into an industry
Yeah.
which is just, we know that an exchange just got, an stock market
Yeah.
index just got set up
Sure.
waves yesterday.
Yeah.
So do you see inflows coming into India anytime soon for this, which will push it to, get it to the US level?
No, absolutely. So yesterday we had a full day of conversation on the U.S.-India Business Council. We organized a U.S.-India Creativity Showcase. And we actually showcased some of these technologies. Let me give you two examples. Spatial audio. Are you familiar with it?
I'm aware.
Okay, and so a lot of that technology and the ideas may be emanating from the United States, but the technology is actually being developed here, it's being trialed here, being used here, and then will go global. And so that's one example where members of ours like Jet Synthesis and Dolby and others are developing technology here. That's all investment, and then it'll generate value and ultimately, economic return as it's commercialized globally. We have another member, Sinclair. They're developing direct-to-mobile technology here in India. Again, a technology and standard that's being used in the United States and elsewhere in the world, but they're actually developing the technology here so that you can use that phone, or I can use my phone to watch cricket, directly broadcast via terrestrial network. There's just tremendous opportunities, and we see this day in and day out within the US-India corridor.
Jay, my last question to you. So all of this business ties, it boils down to something very tangible, which is content that you consume. So
Yes.
on that level, which country's content do you prefer more, India or US?
Well, I was hoping your last question would be around cricket or kabaddi, and that type of, because I think sports actually represents a very unique type of content. Look, Indian stories, my family's Indian American, so I really appreciate those as well. But I also see a lot of my Indian American friends and colleagues also having unique perspectives. And I think sports is one of those bridges. And with cricket coming to the Olympics in LA in a couple of years, and all of the excitement that you see around IPL, I'm personally a kabaddi fan, and I think there's huge potential to drive the relationship.
Jay, that would drive me to the end of my questions, but thanks for taking the time to talk to us here at NDTV's kiosk at the Waves 2025. Ladies and gentlemen, that was Jay Galish from the USIBC on NDTV.